Welcome to BigBossBattle.com. My name is Removal Sanity. Today we are looking at Raining Blobs, and this is by publisher Black Shell Media, and this is on the Xbox One X. So what is Raining Blobs? Raining Blobs is a Tetris-esque game where your goal is to match the same coloured blobs together to clear your board and stop it from filling up. So you're saying basically like any other Tetris game? Well, yes and no. Raining Blobs has added for a few things which make it different from the average Tetris-esque-like games. The developer has created a cast of cute female protagonists inspired by anime style art. The game also boasts a 8-player local co-op or versus mode, and this is boosted up to 16 with CPUs. There is also an arcade mode, an endless battle mode, a tournament mode, and a puzzle mode, which you have to try and solve mind-bending puzzles as you progress. The tournament mode is basically as it states, but there is a sub-story behind as you progress. The game also boasts a nice selection of different visuals found in the options mode. The board background is quite nice and can actually change from character to actual just a plain background. I personally like the different screen effects, as this can actually change the actual visual of the entire game to make it look like it's an old TV. I personally absolutely enjoyed this and wish it was more integrated in other games. So what about the gameplay? Well, if you've played any Tetris-esque like games, you have a pretty good idea on what you're going to be doing here. A pair of blobs will fall slowly, and you have to choose where on the board you want them to fall. In order to pop the blobs and clear a portion of your board, you must match the blobs that have a star on them to other blobs of the same colour but that also have stars on them. And this makes it a little harder. Now there's a small area at the top of your board which shows you which blobs are coming next, so you can try and plan ahead and strategise where your blobs should go. Now after a certain amount of time, the blobs speed up for a few frantic seconds. Now during this time, your board does flash like a disco rave, which actually can be a little bit painful to look at, but it does make it a little bit more visual treat in some cases. The control system is nice and easy to use and very responsive. A couple of button presses and you can rotate your blobs, move your blobs around as quick or as slow as you would like it. The best feature about this game was its multiplayer modes. For instance, my favourite was the tournament mode, where you're in a race against a CPU in order to see who can last the longest, and by doing so you collect new anime characters which you can play later on. There's also a endless mode, which basically you just keep going until you die, a puzzle mode in which you are given a board with few blobs and you have to figure out where you can put the blobs falling from the ceiling in order to clean the entire board in one go. There's also an arcade mode which you can compete against your friends in either versus or co-op, but also you can change the rules, the type of stage and the music in order to fit your mood, and all of these helps bring a little bit of variety to what some could be classified as a stale standard Tetris-esque sort of gameplay. Now, whilst I did enjoy playing Raining Blobs, there is a large caveat that did get me frustrated with the game, and this is due to its visuals. So let's talk about the graphics. The graphics are pixelated, which I absolutely love. It's vibrant, it's colourful, it's drawn beautifully, and every different stage when you're playing tournament mode is different. Every different character has a unique feel, and the little bits in the top left hand corner of your character bouncing up and down is beautiful and fantastic. The actual blobs themselves are bright and colourful. However, there is something that I found absolutely frustrating, and for me it was a little bit game breaking, and this was due to the amount of visual styles going on. Now what I mean by that is there was literally so much going on my brain couldn't actually understand what was going on. And what I mean by that is that, as you can see here, there is a background image moving around in the background, which can be quite distracting. There's also a lot of flashes when certain things happen, like basically when you put 2 stars to another star. Behind that as well, there is also your character, which also slightly shifts around and moves. All this going on just absolutely frazzled my brain, and this is only just 2 people playing, so it's like me versus a CPU. Imagine this with 16. I looked at it, I tried playing it, and it just broke my head. Now this is a bit of a problem, because for me at least, I found myself getting absolutely frustrated because I felt I wasn't being able to do the movements or strategize as well as I'd like to because of this issue. It was just that I couldn't get, my brain couldn't see what was going on. It just couldn't actually understand the visuals in some cases. It was just almost like I was looking at a flashing disco in some cases. And when it keeps happening, it feels more of a grind rather than enjoyable. That said, it is a beautiful art style, but I just felt the game needs to be toned down. That's the best way I can describe this game. There's so much going on, so bright, so visually extreme, that for me at least, it was quite frustrating. So what about the sound? Well, the sound does sound very crisp and clear. It's reminiscent from the actual retro style it's trying to maintain. Its buttons, its blobs, its little clicks and clacks, its little bounces do come out very clearly through the game. And it also has a couple of tracks which bounce in the background, not too loudly as to distract, but enough to kind of keep the game bouncing along. Overall, there isn't much to the sound in this game. It's more about the gameplay and the visuals, but what it does do is quite nice and enjoyable. Overall, I did find this better on a headset than I did through the TV, so I would recommend you use a decent headset when playing the game. So what do I think of Raining Blobs on the Xbox One X? My thoughts for this game is that it is fun, however there are some large caveats. So personally I give this an OK, and this is for the following reasons. The game is very satisfying in puzzle mode, and it also has a quite enjoyable arcade mode, but however this is only good in short bursts. It does also have a decent matching concept, and I would say that the graphic style is very crisp, clear and beautiful, but also this is where its downfall is. More players makes this less practical due to its colours and its art style. Also the battles, especially in tournament mode, are insanely difficult even at easy modes, so some people might find this too much of a grind. Overall, this isn't a bad game, it's just a brilliant game. It's something that will while away the hours for short periods, admittedly, and it's not bad for the price which it is being promoted at. Currently it is on the Xbox site for £8.39, so that roughly translates to about $10 US. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that you have enjoyed the review. Please do give us a like and a thumbs up, and if you please do also give us your comments and thoughts on the video. We do like to hear what you think. Anyway, have a great time gaming, and I'll see you again soon.